The War Widow Who Didn't Know Lonely. A sad yet hopeful story of enduring love. Eliza Ward lost her husband, Captain Thomas Ward, during the early months of the war. The telegram came on a rain-soaked morning, the kind that makes everything feel heavier, quieter. Neighbors whispered condolences, and the minister brought casseroles, but none of it filled the space Thomas left behind. But Eliza, she never seemed lonely. She kept a place set for him at dinner, not out of denial but tradition. She wrote him letters every week, sealing them with wax and placing them in a carved wooden box under her bed. Every evening, she'd read one back, remembering his laughter, his strength, the way his eyes softened when he looked at her. Her love didn't die with him. It lived on in the creak of their porch swing, the dog-eared pages of the books they shared, the half-sung songs she hummed to herself while baking bread. Townsfolk thought it strange, how she smiled at the empty air, how she walked the lake path alone but never looked lost. What they didn't understand was that Eliza didn't feel alone. Thomas was with her, not in ghostly shadows or visions but in the quiet resilience he left behind. He had taught her how to love so deeply that it reached beyond death. Yes, she grieved. But lonely? Never. For when love is true, it leaves echoes. And Eliza's world was full of them. Seasons passed. Winters arrived with sharp winds, but Eliza's cottage always seemed warm. The fireplace never went out, and the smell of cinnamon and wood smoke clung to her clothes. Children would visit, some hers by blood, others by bond, and she'd tell them stories about a brave captain who once carved his name into a tree just to make her smile. One boy, Samuel, once asked, "Do you miss him, Miss Eliza?" She smiled softly, brushing flour off her apron. "Every day." "Then, aren't you lonely?" Eliza knelt beside him and took his small hand in hers. "Lonely is when love is gone. But my love for him never left, and his love never did either." The boy blinked, too young to understand but wise enough to feel something true in her words. At night, when the wind howled like it missed something, Eliza would sit in her chair by the window with the wooden box of letters. She never cried anymore. Not because the pain had vanished, but because it had softened, becoming something sacred. Grief had shaped her, yes, but it hadn't broken her. She began writing new letters. Not to Thomas, but from him, what he might say if he were still here. "Dearest Eliza," one read, "you have become everything we dreamed of, strong, kind, full of grace. I see you in every sunrise. I feel you in the hush before snow. I live on because you carry me with such fierce love that even death must bow to it." As years turned into decades, Eliza became a quiet legend in the village. The widow who never remarried, who smiled as if she knew secrets about the heart the rest of the world had forgotten. People said her house was touched by love itself, not haunted but held. When Eliza finally passed, she was found in her chair by the window, a letter resting gently in her lap. Her hands were folded peacefully, and a faint smile lingered on her lips. No one heard thunder that day. No wind, no storm. Just stillness. And when they opened the box beneath her bed, they found hundreds of letters, stories of war, of longing, of love, of hope. But more than anything, they found proof that some hearts never break. They simply hold more than one lifetime of love. Eliza had known sorrow, yes. But lonely? Never.